Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is 4 minutes past the hour on this 12th day of August. Tell the Truth Tuesday. Welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told slash JD Live, your early morning get up, wake up. The thing that you wait for every morning that gets you going, gets you flowing, because no matter what happened yesterday, today is a new day. And I never come in here by myself. And today, I'm telling you, when I say it was a challenge today, it's still a challenge today, but I'm not in here by myself. I ain't in here by myself. I always find a little help from my friends. So y'all put your hands together for the CEO of Pimpin' Positivity, Miss Alethea Crimmins herself. Good morning, Miss Alethea. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. I'm good. How about you?
Yeah, we don't even want to go there, but I'm here. I'm here. That's all I got to say. I'm here.
Yep.
I'm here.
Yeah,
It's
I've
good.
I've been I've been up since 2 o'clock this morning.
Ooh, ooh, early, bright and early in the morning. I get it. I get it. I get it. Let's talk about it. Look like all hell done broke loose just everywhere. I mean, everywhere. And I woke up this morning with all hell breaking loose around me too. So I just was like, what is going on? But then when I figured out what was going on, all I could do was just do what I always do. You got to fix it. So, um, in the news, it seems to be folk just taking over places. Why I'm trying to figure out what's going on in DC. They said that the president just then came, took over the place, then started getting people who are homeless arrested on the street, taking them off the street, says that the crime rate is going berserk. And it's really not. But once again, it shows you the power of the man that's in power when they say we're gonna make our own rules and do it our way. That's why I tell folks, man, pay attention who you put in office, because my God, I mean, it seems to be it's just an all-out attack on the others. If you're not considered their group and you're considered the others, they are coming after you with everything they got. Talk to me, Alethea.
But you're taking them off the street and putting them where? Like homelessness has been an ongoing epidemic since before he got into office, and now all of a sudden homelessness has become a problem. But instead of, with all of the money that you do have, instead of pro- providing more shelters that they can go to, instead of providing places that they could go, you would rather look at these people as criminals and blame them for the high crime rate. I'm not understanding the logic. I'm not understanding,
I don't
but
get I
with
don't I don't get
you,
it.
but he wants to make a change, but you're actually making things worse because you're basically telling us that these people are beneath us, and that homeless people are in fact criminals. That's
Hold it, right.
that's that's what you're saying, that homeless
Since
people are in
when
fact criminals.
Since when was homelessness a crime?
A
Y'all
crime.
give it up for my brother, the Dapper Dan himself down in MIA, yo. They talking about a storm might be heading toward your way, yo. It is brother Botayo. Y'all give it up to Antonio Coke doing his thing down there in Miami, Florida. Good morning to you, brother Botay. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Scarlett. Good morning. Hope all is well. The beautiful Alethea, how's everything going with that beautiful accent?
Good. How are you?
Girl, you made my night last night, and I didn't even speak to you yesterday. I was just
Okay.
scrolling down, man. I was scrolling down the young lady page. I consider like one of my moms. Me and her son was best friends. And I seen her post your video, and I said, "That's my co-host." She said, "I love her." She wanted to tell me everything about. I said, "Man, check out our podcast in the morning." I be with her like Monday through Friday, and she was just rambling about you, saying how good you is, how she loved your energy, how inspiring you is. But keep it up, though.
Thank you. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
All
yeah.
right, family. It's 8 minutes past the hour. Bowtie, we were talking about how our president, because he is our president, he is the
Mm-hmm.
president. is currently in office. So, even though I didn't vote him in, he's still the man who won. That makes him our president. Is just doing all kind of stuff like turning homelessness into crime. They don't call it homelessness no more. They kind of changed the term. They call it the unhoused, the unhomed. I don't get that. You're homeless, but he's turning that into the crime. Of course, in weather news, seems to be that hurricane season, which I thought was just kind of not paying no attention to nobody. The ancestors off the African coast woke up and said, let's blow a few things your way since y'all like them little ropes to
Yeah.
take people in boats over to another land. Let's blow something your way. And look like hurricane season getting crunked up. So all I can say on that tip, 9 minutes after the hour, is if you ain't prepared, be prepared, because it can happen just that quick. Like, it's coming up this weekend. They still really don't know. They say it's going to turn north, but what happened? It don't turn north.
Yeah. And rather it turn or don't turn. I mean, like, Florida is in this path. If it turns, Florida's still gonna get hit. If it keep going, Florida gonna get hit. But it just decide. I guess it would be rather North Florida get hit versus Miami, Florida get hit. But either way, Florida gonna deal with something,
Mm.
And I'm
But
in Miami, so we're closer to the water, so we gonna get it. We gonna get a lot of rain, But what we be hoping for, Joe, low key, I'm not saying that Miami people don't take hurricanes serious, but we be hoping that the hurricane get a category 3. That way they can tell people not to go to work and they give us an excuse to have a hurricane party.
That part. That part. That part right there. That's what I'm talking about.
But
That
back
part
to the
right
nature of
there.
the subject of the homelessness. I actually work with a couple of homeless advocate programs down here in Miami, and I've been seeing probably for like the last 6 years them trying to criminalize being homeless, whether it's public nuisance or quality of life ordinances. Like, they come up with all certain things, and then they have things that they do. I literally there was a situation that happened that an undercover cop went and placed a beer can by a homeless person by a church, and they had grounds to arrest him because you don't supposed to be drinking within 100 feet of a church or a store or a school or something like that. And the drunk person said he don't even drink beer. And just so happened it was a witness said this guy was the one did it, and they was able to say that he was an undercover cop and all this kind of stuff. But they've been targeting homeless people for the last couple of years, and I wonder why. And at the same time, I know that the homeless issues that we have in America could be reversed, especially with the money that we give out to support these other countries. It could be reversed. Well, all respect to Ukraine, but what we gave Ukraine something like $70 billion or something like that.
Mm. Mm. I
70
don't
billion.
understand.
why
Listen,
why
listen.
couldn't that be used to house, like, why
Well,
Hold it,
here's
why
hold
my
it.
here's
didn't
here-
they
here's my
be
Forget
solution.
used?
Ukraine. Hold up. Think about the money we send to Ukraine, to Israel, to other places. But
Mhm.
we always talking this America first. Oh, make America great again. Well, let's go. Now I'm giving you their talking points, not my talking points. Let's
Mhm.
hold it. Let's make America great again. America first. But is it certain Americans first? Is it certain Americans that need to be great again? Because it seems to be there is an onslaught and an attack on the others, and the others include black and brown folks who don't make certain amount of money, folks that are impoverished. It seems to be that if you're
Rich versus
black and brown,
poor.
you're not American.
Mm.
If you are impoverished, you're not American. If you're not a millionaire, you're not American. So this America we're making great again, and this America first is only certain Americans. It's not all Americans.
Mm.
And now it's an attack on people like me. It is now an attack on me and my marriage and other people like me and
Mm.
their marriages, because now they want to overturn um
The law, the
our,
law. The law that
So
says it's legal for you to be married, right? The law.
we don't even know what that would mean. Like we don't even know what exactly that would mean, because my marriage is legal and binding. Just like yours, my marriage is the same. So what exactly would that mean?
So watch this. I want to say this, and I'm going to throw it over to Brother Bowtie. There is a movie, and I suggest everybody goes watch this movie. It was one of my favorite movies, and it's an older movie. It's V for Vendetta. Go watch that movie, and if that movie is not literally what's happening right now in the United States of America, my name is not Joe. Along comes this guy, and he changes everything. He begins to change the hearts and minds of everybody. And literally the government starts taking over everything. When I say everything, everything from putting in curfews to what you can and cannot say and what you can and cannot do, all of a sudden your rights are no longer your rights. I mean, go watch V for Vendetta and just ask yourself, and I would not be nowhere not thinking this couldn't happen, that our own government sets it up and does something dastardly and blames it on somebody else. And all of a sudden, we have full scale war with somebody to keep Trump in office where Trump can do another term.
But if you notice,
15th.
a lot of the Republicans are changing over because they don't like what's going on. They do not like what is going on. So a lot of the Republicans are changing over to the Democratic parties, because like they were like, no, this is not what we signed up for. Like we didn't sign up for this bullshit. Like this is not. But y'all y'all thought that this man was lying, but now that you realize that he wasn't lying, it's like, oh, well, we didn't know. Yes, you did, but you just didn't think that he would be that bad. But he is, and now you want to change over. So I wonder what that would mean when everybody that he thought was in his corner flip flops and is no longer there for him.
You know, give it up to Sean P with the Sean P experience. Reading is fundamental. Good morning, Sean. How you doing this morning, brother?
What's going on? Peace, peace. How y'all doing, man? You know, top of the week to everybody. Everybody's good and ready to have a good, successful, productive, positive week is what we're going to do.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
we're gonna do. In the midst of hurricanes
Sure.
on their way, in the midst of DC being taken over by the National Guard, in the midst of all this chaos. And look, Sean, you know I'm a big comic book guy. I'm a big movie guy. I was just talking about V for Vendetta. I don't know if you remember that movie, V for Vendetta. I'm telling you, if you watch that movie, if that is not what's happening in the United States of America right now, and I'm just wondering who is going to be the person who rises up like V did, like the guy, the actual character in the movie V, and begin to deal with these villainous vermin that are vivaciously. He went through a whole bunch of V's that he was talking about, man, hey, but y'all ain't playing with me. I'm gonna hit
Hey,
you with the 1-2.
Joe, you don't want to know what came through my mind when I first heard you say it.
What
15th
happened?
of no 15th of November, what a night to remember.
Come on. That part.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
watched. Matter of fact, I watched it 3 days ago, but I don't know if those one of the movies I tend to watch every other year. I'm not a big conspiracy theorist, but I see how government take over. And I was just telling someone actually yesterday in a phone conversation. I said, if you think it's a problem now, because I was on someone TikTok lives, and on TikTok live, you can't say black, you can't say dead, you can't say kill, you can't say gay, you can't say um
you mean freedom of speech
love.
ain't free?
Is not free. So
Mm.
one of the people got off and they started talking to me, and I said, you think this a problem now? Wait till they tell you that you can't even say it in your own phone.
Oh, hold it. But watch this though. TikTok is owned by China, and China and us been beefing since way back when. So let's just be honest about it. Once again, and it's a prime example about what I say always happens in the hood. We let everybody come in the hood and prosper in the hood, except people who look like you and I. So the same thing is happening right now in the United States of America. The Chinese took that hood philosophy and did it in white America. That's why white America hates the Chinese. They said, we're going to come into your backyard and we're going to take over everything. So right now, the #1 streaming platform is TikTok. TikTok ain't owned by the United States of America. It ain't owned by white folks. It ain't owned by black folks. It's owned by you got new Ontario.
Hey, Joe,
you over here doing this. Are you gonna play it my way or you ain't gonna play it at all? Go ahead, Sean.
Since Kyrie Irving situation years ago and then Kanye West situation, it showed you that freedom of speech, it is free, but it's gonna cost you something. You can freely speak, but it's gonna cost you something.
Somebody named Colin Kaepernick said, yeah, freedom of speech is free, but it's gonna cost me something. I ain't playing quarterback since. I ain't doing. See, they will come and take what you love when you go ahead and stand up and do what they told you to do. I remember Dr. King said, look, all we trying to do is hold you accountable to that piece of paper you wrote. I didn't write that. Hold it. I'm trying to hold you accountable to the piece of paper you wrote that said all men are created equal and have certain inalienable rights that is given to them by God. Hold it. You wrote that paper, not me.
But Joe, whenever they said all men, were we even considered men?
Oh no!
When they wrote those words.
At that time, men, black and brown folks, women, anything that wasn't a white man was not considered to be human. You were 1/3 of. You wasn't 100% of. Whatever. That's just when they wrote that. The only person they wrote that for was white men. If you wasn't a white man, that piece of paper was
not even the white woman that they go and decimate cities behind.
I
they go and like bomb a whole city behind a white one. Not even her.
Nah, Sean. Actually, I had watched a documentary on this. Somebody was actually breaking it down. It was a white professor actually at Harvard. So it's actually only written for men in general. So white men was only considered the only real true men based off the philosophy of it, and we was considered 3/5. The white woman and the white woman and the black woman, and they didn't care about women.
So wait a minute, brother Bowtie.
They was creating a patriotic society to run.
We having this whole thing right now with their redistricting different lines and all that for voting power. We're considered 3/5 of a man. That was behind votes as well, right? That was behind voting power, right? In the same old cycles, they playing with these moving the goalposts over and over again, bro.
Yeah. The thing is, as I often say on this podcast, what are we doing to prepare ourselves? You know, and my grandfather used to say this slogan to me when it came to dating, right? And I use the same philosophy, the same phrase when it comes to life with everything that I do. He said, when you're in a relationship with a woman, you prepare for two things: the best love of your life or your long arch enemy. Because if it ends, she's going to be your enemy for the rest of your life. But if you guys stay together, she's going to be the love of your life. So oftentimes I see a lot of times we're comfortable in a lot of things, in a lot of situations. We already know this already happened. What are we doing? All right, they playing the voting card. They playing with the politics. What are you doing? Are you even, as Joe, we were talking about this yesterday on the show, what are you doing to even involve yourself in politics? And I'm not only talking about the presidential. I mean, like, we got the Congress, we got the Senate, we got your local city, you got your local mayor, you got your local city manager. All these things affect us. There's a city called Opa-locka in Florida, in Miami, actually. It's the second oldest black city in the state of Florida. They had a city audience literally for like 23 years. And I'm the one who actually got it taken away. I was down there arguing with them every day. But they really came out with a city audience statute targeting young black men. If you was caught with your pants sagging, you get a ticket the first time. The second time, you get a ticket and a fine. The third time, you go to jail. So I went down there arguing, but what are we doing? And my energy is going with that city, meaning that I don't have the energy to go back and argue. But one thing that I did do that was satisfied. So this city, they had signs like every 500 feet of two young black boys with their pants sagging, let you know, like, hey, you gotta go get a ticket, get a fine, and go to jail. All right, I got all the signs removed, but where's the people? My energy gonna run out. So where's the new energy? Where's the new people who gonna advocate and say, hey, this need to be removed from my city as a whole? Hey, let's get involved in politics. Hey, no, we don't want this growing. We want to be able to grow crops in our front yard. If we're not advocating, we're not politicking, we're not fighting. If we're not being V, then we're going to be. If we're not being the V, then we're going to be the other V. We always going to be the victim.
Mm, mm. And you can't live long and prosper when you are the victim. That part. That part.
You know, I had a young brother on the podcast last week, 25 years old. He is incredibly politically astute, right? And I was asking, like, how does a person get more involved? Because so many people, they talk about Trump all day, right? You don't know your city officials in your city. You don't know, you know, the mayor and some of the people you should know. You don't know none, the school board. You don't know these people, but you should.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what district you reside in your district.
Mm.
I mean, that's the basics. That's just the ground floor, let alone national politics. You don't know your local backyard politics.
But it's like
I mean,
everybody
come on,
want to
Alethea.
talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, but just like Brother Voltaire said, what happens when it's time to do the work? So at the end of the day, all we doing is this. But then when it's actually time to put your feet on the ground and start doing some actual work, it's like, oh, I don't. But that be the same ones that complain whenever shit don't go right. It's like, oh, well they should have did this and could have did that. You have the opportunity to do it. Like it literally just takes one. It takes one person to make enough noise to start any type of revolution that we have ever had. Just think about it. Any type of revolution, it took one person to start it. It only takes one. It only takes one. Like, be the change that you want to see in this world. If not, shut up. Like
It's very interesting that you say that, Sister Alethea. Yesterday, I was actually watching Shaka Zulu, and then I started doing some research. And what was interesting about the movie version is the movie version was a good version compared to the book and stuff like that. But the British had everything. It's no way possible the Zulu nation should have won that war. The British had rifles, they had swords, they had cannons, they had it all. They even had strategy on how to like corner the Zulu nation. But Shaka Zulu, he was just determined. His people wasn't that determined, but he was just determined to say, hey, they're not going to take my country. They're not going to do this. We're going to fight. And he had to convince these people to fight with every last strength that they have. Pretty much his message was, if you get shot in one leg, hop on the other leg, but make sure you kill somebody on your way getting shot. And the reason why the Zulu nation defeated the British, because he convinced them that they were stronger and they was gonna lose their freedom and whatever. And they kept coming. I mean, like according to the movie, they was getting shot, they was getting bombed, and they were still crawling, trying to stab people because they didn't have guns, they didn't have cannon. Only thing the Zulu people had was a shield and a spear. But they kept coming, and the British end up running out of bullets. They end up retreating, and they end up saying, hey, we're going to lose this war. But they kept coming. So I think what we're dealing with now is tell the people, hey, keep fighting. Know who it is. My sons, I got involved in politics very early. And it just so happened that at their early age, they was able to witness a tragic crime that happened in the United States that they knew a young man, Trayvon Martin. Trayvon, brother Trey Smart me and him used to be in the same Masonic organization. We got initiated a couple of times. So we used to go to meetings sometimes, and he'd drop Trayvon off to my house, and and then we'll go to our meetings and stuff like that. But when Trayvon got killed, my son was able to actually see the impact, and it actually impacted them personally. So I took the initiative in my life to let me involve into something that can change. So they got into politics. They got into knowing who their local police chief is, who their local mayor is, not only in their city, but the next city over. Like you want to shake hands. And I'm known in my city as Brother Bowtie anyway, as an activist, but it feel good knowing that they be like, I have a mayor that inbox me all the time. Hey, I just seen your son at the car wash, man. I seen your baby boy, stuff like that. And I said, if I didn't never put them in position, then they would never knew the position. However, though, they know how to make changes. They know if something going wrong in their community, the first step is to call. And if they can't get to the mayor or commissioner, then they go in the city hall to argue their case or argue their issue. And a lot of us don't do that. I
But this is
guarantee if
another
we can
thing.
ask the average person where you go at, where your city hall at, I guarantee most people don't even know where they city hall at. But they know where to go at to go to a club at. They know where every club at.
Go ahead, Alethea. Go ahead.
But this is
And,
one.
and,
one
and before I bring Alethea in, we got my brother in Berlin. We international, all the way in Berlin, Germany. Y'all give it up for my man, Mr. Washington. He is in the building. Mr. Washington, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good. Mic check working fine?
Yeah, everything good. So go ahead, Alethea. You good? Alethea, go ahead. Speak on what you want to speak on.
This is one thing that you said that really resonated with me. You said that um Shaka Zulu got his people together and was like, okay, we are going to fight tooth and nail, even though there is more of them than there are of us. We are going to stick together. The issue is, and what we don't realize, that black and brown people, we go through the exact same things. It may not always look the same, but we do. There's more of us than there are of them. So if we actually got together like they do, because if there is a cause, they will get together and they will stand strong. When it's us, we would rather pick each other apart and say why you shouldn't be running it, why you shouldn't be running it, why you doing this, why you, instead of working together. And that is another cause of our demise.
I mean, we
So
count
the
each other's
solution
pockets.
is
And
what?
jealousy. Go ahead. Now, Brother Washington, I know you over there in Berlin and in Germany. And you said it right there. The solution. See, here's the thing. We come up with good solutions. I know you come up with, man, I appreciate what you bring to the table all the time from the aspect and from the perspective of, man, I'm not even in the United States of America. And guess what? Black and brown folks catching hell all over the world. So when are us black and brown folks going to leave them other folk alone and just deal with us and get ourselves together? Go ahead, Brother Washington, brother in Berlin.
I think the solution is what's kind of been happening here in Berlin. And I think that in America, again, sisters are so educated and you guys understand the college system, but you also have to remember how tough it is in the public school system. And from the system of your self-esteem, we as Black people need to go ahead and figure out how to create our own infrastructure of homeschooling on a massive scale, where we are the ones educating our own children, because it's clear that we have a victim mindset because we are bombarded every day of how they destroyed us, how they are powerful more than us, how they are above us. And from all the stories, even the stupid story of John Henry that we had to learn as children, that folktale, when this man worked so good, he was so great, but he was put on display to be raced against a locomotive, and he worked himself to death, and that's our hero. That's to celebrate. We need to create our own infrastructure and our own infrastructure of raising our children, not to say that we want to be separate from them, but to say that you all have not been educating us properly. And we've had about 40 years of seeing the outcomes of you all's education of our young black men and young black women. And we need to make a change. If you, the oppressors, say that we're too violent and too crime ridden, then go ahead and put some of the responsibility in our hands, and we'll figure out how to educate ourselves.
Brother Sean P., I know you got something to say after that. I know you got something.
I told her co-sign and advocate everything the brother just said over there, man. And it take us having that responsibility. We talked about parenting last week. Talk about parenting. Taking that responsibility, taking your energy and your time, instead of going to all the brunches and going to all the meet and greets and Beyonces, take some of that resource and that time and literally read to your children every night. Literally go over certain historical facts with your children. Literally put them in certain programs. Take them to the library. Take them to the museum in your actual city.
Hold it. Alethea said it. That would require work. And let me give the black card on that. I'm giving the black card on that. Because that's right. We don't want to put in the work. Let me give the black card on it. Not a red card, not a yellow card, but the black card. There's the black card right there. We got to put in that work.
We do have the blueprint. I think if we copy pasted the Job Corps Center and micromanaged it down to an elementary school level, I think that it would kind of be the blueprint of how we could actually do it ourselves. Job Corps was an amazing program for a lot of black men and black women in the early 2000s, and it's kind of been stripped away. But I think that that's the formula we could use to go ahead and have like a dorm setting for even our own children at an early age, as long as the families are in the dorms. There's a way to do this. We just have to put our brains together and figure it out. White supremacy will always give us the blueprint if we pay attention to it.
Well, Brother Washington, the Nation of Islam did it. They have their own school.
Yes, you guys have.
They have their own school. I'm not part of the Nation of Islam, but they have created their own schooling, their own agriculture. They have created their own, and whether you know or not, they're actually in the process of creating their own credit union right now.
But black people in general in America are not ready to wake up from Christianity yet. So we need to go ahead and make this be the middle. That's too much of a shift. It has to be baby steps. So it would just be us knowing, hey, the public school system is not working. We're not trying to switch your religion. We're not trying to switch you to anything else. We're just addressing this problem. And this is the solution.
The miseducation of the Negro. What we are addressing is the miseducation of the Negro, of black and brown folks. And as you said, this over sensationalized, I have to say it, and there's going to be some people mad at me, this over sensationalized evangelical type of lifestyle, and the not true, but their version of this is what this book is telling you to do. Because if you read it for yourself, you'll come to find out what they're preaching and what's in this book is two different things. Period. Go ahead, Sean.
I want to add to that, like in most of these cities, right? Like Dr. Naeem Akbar said, us black people are some of the most degreed people in the world. We have enough PhDs and every other alphabet. All of us to our own individual city, take some weekends and start teaching classes in your city. We all got access to PDFs. You can print off PDF documents. We can access different books. Most of us have elaborate libraries. A lot of us have libraries. We can bring books and start teaching small lessons on a small scale. Every city branching off doing that and start the ball rolling. There's no excuse. All these HBCUs got Bayou Classic and the Battle of the Bands and all, they want to come out, put your letters on. Well, okay, college graduates, let's put it to the test. Where it really matters. Why you
we create our own library in our house.
Yeah.
Buy your own book. Sometimes when you have that extra money here, instead of you going to buy 3 bottles, buy 1 bottle and buy a book. Or put some money away. Show your kids how to save. Show your kids how to invest. Show your kids stuff. I thank God my kids are.
That's the second step. We have to hit the lowest class first. The lowest class parents won't be buying books and things like that. We have to affect them first. Because unfortunately, if you're a well-behaved black boy or black girl in those schools, you're getting influenced by the lower class and the ones who are portraying the ratchet behavior. So in order to change the community, we need to reach the parents of that community first and offer them a solution that's something different. And then the kids who are already good and well-behaved black kids, they're kind of already okay because they're not being indoctrinated by their own peer group and systems of the degradation and the things that we learn from our own peer group. It's about reaching the parents that are really need the help the most, giving them that option. And then the other kids who have the parents that are maybe middle class and a little bit below, then they can come too as well. But it's about helping that lower class first.
It's about putting the investment into the least of them and getting the least of them to a place where we are all on a playing field that we are winning. See, the biggest problem with most black and brown folks is we don't want to see folk win and do better than us. Somehow or another, this system has told us that, you've got to be the baddest. And by you being the baddest, you can be the only chip in the cookie, the only black in the room. Because if you open up that room and let other blacks in, woe be it unto you, your light won't shine as bright as it did when it was just you in the room by yourself. That's why we always believe in being the HNIC, the head Negro in charge, the only Negro in the room, the Negro that speaks for all the other Negroes. And that has been killing us at us whole across the board. And I said what I said. Get a card. Get a card, black card to myself.
Can you give yourself a black card? I don't think you.
Wait, brother Washington.
Wait, hold on. Somebody else got to give him the black card. That ain't right, sir. You cannot give your own self the black card. That is against. We got to call a judge in for that. I don't know.
Joe, I actually agree with brother Washington. With us self-educating, and even though my kids graduated from public school, but when they got home, oh my God, Daddy was teaching them. When I say I was teaching them, like my kids are very conscious. Most, and it's not for me to brag, but they can't connect with most of their cousins their age. Like some of my cousins, little cousins, consider them too conscious, or sometimes they tell them that my son think that they better, but it's not them. It's just like that's how I want to teach them. But I have an issue with us when it comes to us because we're taught when it comes to our education, we're only taught to celebrate them. We're not taught to celebrate us. From pre-K all the way to 12th grade, you're only going to celebrate Dr. King, and those who they control or those who they beat. You're not going to celebrate Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Noble Drew Ali, and that's
anybody
that's how they
radicalized.
want it. They set
Anybody
it up
radicalized,
like that,
they
right?
gonna do it.
So when we have our own educational system, I'm not saying that we should learn the Pledge of Allegiance, but we should also know the Negro National Anthem. My issue that I see oftentimes with the little kids that go viral and their parents pander them for money or to try to get social media famous, I don't have no issue with Miss Shirley doing where the fans at. But I know Miss Shirley don't know the Negro National Anthem. I know she can't identify the flag of the Constitution of the Negro National Anthem. She can't say, "Hey, this is the Pan African flag." She can't identify that, and she probably can't even
Because
identify the American flag. So it lets you know that we're putting our kids and we're teaching our kids, "Hey, this is the direction that you can go." Just like it's comfortable over here, but your greatness is always going to be uncomfortable.
What's
In
more
order for you to
important, you
be
think?
great, you
Learning
have
the
to be
Negro
uncomfortable.
National Anthem or
The
learning to see
greatest
through the
football
Pledge of
player,
Allegiance?
he had to get hurt. Like Tom Brady, they call him a GOAT. You know how many times his arm was so? You know how many times he had sleepless nights? You know how many times he didn't even have the energy to even Joe Gone. He didn't even have the energy to have intercourse with his girlfriend, whether in college or whether in high school. He had to put himself through some things to become great. And it's the same thing with us when it comes to our culture. We have to put ourselves through some things to become great. We must educate ourselves. We have to stop making excuses. I agree with you wholeheartedly, Brother Washington. Like, stop making excuses. And only thing that I kind of disagree with you with when you said that we had to start off with the kids of low quality, pretty much. Not that phrase offended me. It's like I just have the mindset you can't save everybody. If you come and there's 10 people and you say, "Hey, if you guys take 3 steps over here, I got $5,000." If you have 4 people saying no, I don't want to take those 3 steps, I give you 1 step, you can meet me halfway, you gonna lead how I think I'm gonna lead those 4 people. I already gave you an option and a choice. You taking 1 step and me meet you halfway is probably gonna put me in danger and the 6 people who took the 3 steps with us. So that's just how I think.
I understand. I think any logical parent would want to have their kid in a safe school environment. And by offering that option versus what happens in public schools, I think it just gives the parents of a lower class a chance to do what's right. And it's not about holding their hand and dragging them to this environment. It's about giving them the option to take it. And I think if the option was there, many would take it.
Mm.
Coming from education, I have seen some parents that have had the option. And that's why I will continue to say it's the work ethic of the parents, because they have been given the option. Now, Brother Bowtie will take his kids from school, then after school, teach them again. What we've seen over and over and over again, when our children leave school, Miss Rachel teaches them. Grace's Corner teaches them. This teaches them. That's why they know more about TikTok than they do their math, than they do reading. Because once they leave school, teaching is over with. Parents do not want to teach. And even though you give them the option, I myself have provided outside learning tools that parents can use with their kids, even during COVID. When I tell you I went above and beyond, walking since you could not be in my classroom, let me show you how your kids can still learn for these 3 months that you are not in school. Every week, I would do a little thing where they'd have to check in. Oh, well, we didn't get to watch it yet. Oh, well, we didn't get to. Y'all sitting at home all day.
Mm.
You're sitting like I literally just like you said, I gave you the blueprint on how to make your child great, but you chose not to take it. And that is a lot of what is going on. These parents do have options, but they choose the easy way out.
Alethea, so
That is the issue.
Alethea, when I just listened to your statement, and his was very interesting, and I'm agree with you, but just disagree. And if you follow me, you say,
Okay.
okay, bow tie makes sense.
Okay.
It's the parent structure on what they do, because now when we look at what's active and what's going on today, what's actually been going on for like the last month and a half, these kids are learning when they get out of school. So what I mean by that, every day that these kids get out of school, they're going to football practice or cheerleader practice. So that lets me know that, hey, you still want your kids to learn, but you choosing what you want them to learn.
Facts.
You know, it's like a
No, they want their kids away. That's the issue. It's not that they
Come
want them to learn
on.
cheerleading or learn
Come
sports. They want them
on.
away
Give him
so
a
they
card,
can
Joe.
do
Give him
what
a
they want
card,
to
Joe.
do.
Give him a card.
Where's it at? Hold up.
Give him the
Damn.
yes.
Damn.
Because
Damn.
no, but you are right, because I have seen it. We are in a like parents, not all, but from what I have seen myself, parents do not want to be bothered with their kids.
They don't. They
The
don't.
less
They
time,
don't.
that I have to spend with my kids, the more I can fit. Yeah, so after school, you ain't gotta go here, and then you only spend like maybe 2-3 hours. I spend more time with your kids than you do. I know more about your kids than you do. How is it that I can tell whenever your child isn't feeling good, but you can't? What?
Let me tell you.
Mm.
My time being in child psychology, counseling these kids, of course, they have behavior issues, is why I'm there, right? These kids got more PS5s and handhelds than anybody, more than Joe. And Joe the game guy. Now, the old school is what? You get in trouble at school, you ain't playing no game.
You ain't playing
These
no game.
parents, they want to get a child the game, like go over there in the corner and like leave me alone. Let me watch my shows and stuff, unbothered. You go over there for the next 18 hours and just play the game.
And
They want to
and
be the most
18
hands-on.
hours.
Mm,
And
Hands-on.
18 hours.
And
Yes.
mm,
I think a solution for that, because
mm.
again, logically speaking, the mothers are too stressed to actually. We had this conversation before. A lot of us as Black men, we weren't raised with mothers who were in their femininity. Most of us weren't, and so the
Right,
solution might be that
right.
whenever you have a child, forget marriage, whenever you make a baby and the breakup happens, then as the man, you make sure you get a camper van and you stay near where the kids and the mother are. You ain't causing no
Mm,
drama, but what you are is you allow yourself to be an asset, so that way the mother can stay and rest in her femininity and raise the children the right way. And you, as the
right.
father, you still continue going to work or doing what you have to do, but you stay close. I think so many men make the mistake when the breakup happens and they go far away, and then all of a sudden you're an inconvenience for the woman to see because you're messing up her system. Women have a bump, and when you pop that with your random man shit, which is what we do, it messes it all up. So we have to figure out a different balance. And the balance might actually be that when a breakup happens, you don't turn into a cool mode, bachelor mode. I want to get my own place and no, you made a child. So now you got to be an asset. You get a camper van, you get an RV, and you make sure that you are around. So when the mother needs you and needs to go do something, the kids go with you in the RV and just stay there. And that's where you are valuable as a father, not so much just providing and working and seeing your kids every 2 weeks.
You know what? I
I'm
gotta
gonna
say
play
something. Go ahead, Alethea. Go ahead.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and I know that the women are gonna come down on me, but y'all know that my name means truth, so I'm going to tell it. Women also, when the breakup happens, a lot of the reason why some of the, not all, but some of the men are not around, because women need to stop weaponizing these children and using them as some, some type of bargaining tool. So brother both I like, yes, I am going to say it because I see it. And a lot of men, they also deal with trauma because of this. You will not allow me to be around my child. So it's a catch 22. I want to be there, but you're using my child as a weapon. So what, so you can't have your cake and eat it too. What do you want to do? Choose your struggle. Either you want to struggle with me and
Mm,
we can both figure this out, or you want to
mm.
be the mama and the daddy and do it by yourself. But if you choose that route, do not point your finger at me when shit goes wrong, because this is what you chose, and women need to hear this.
Mm,
I
mm.
think
I wanna.
I'm gonna add a little something to it. I got you, Sean P. I actually think, just based off me, I'm an advocate and I've been advocating for single fathers for years. And I help men out with child support, custody cases all the time, free, all the time. But I think there's a greater success rate if the kids actually go stay with the dad at their breakup. Because one thing that a father never get away from is structure, order, and discipline.
Yeah, but
And
you
he
can't
always going
logically
to have
expect
that.
that
He's
to
always
happen
going to
until the
provide
child is
that.
a teenager.
Now, when it comes to the nurturing and the caring and the learning part, if the father is a man, 9 out of 10, he's going to tell his mom or his sister or his homegirl or his friend that he doing whatever with, hey, I need you to step in and teach my daughter this. And women don't mind. One thing I discovered when it comes to men, that if you're a man and you raising a daughter, if you call your homegirl, your mom, or your sister, they'll be happy to come show your daughter how to put on her pad, how to be a lady, how to carry herself, how to act. They'll be happy to do that. But when it comes the opposite way, when a woman's raising her kid and you tell a man to step in and show their man, show their son how to use the bathroom, that's a territory that most men don't want to cross because they're not trying to create a bond and they don't know you like that, or the relationship is not
Mm,
that serious with you and that man.
mm.
But women, they will happily step in and do that. But based off my experience and the years of me advocating, I realize, and what I seen for sure, that most men who get their kids actually have a great turnout. When I say great turnout, like they're not criminals before they leave high school. They're very respectful. They have a plan. They have emotion. They're not out in the streets. They're not part of no gangs. They haven't experienced with drugs. Like, because what as I said, as a young man, we know this anyway. If from the time that we're a young man playing on a football field or going to uncle house or daddy house, the man above you, or the man who have more authority in you, he's going to give you structure, order, and discipline. So as you grow
So
up, that's going to be the only thing in your mind, and that's the only thing
so
that you going to want around
so
you.
so let me jump in here. Let me jump in here right quick because we've got about 6 minutes to the top of the hour. Let me say the following. I don't care if you're male or female. Good people who do good things and teach their children good things, I gotta applaud y'all. That's the point. I don't care if you see. The problem is we try to give certain roles to certain folks. At the end of the day, let me say the following. We all know as black and brown folks, we got to take lemons sometimes and make lemonade factories. Not a gallon of lemonade. We're given 2 lemons and being told that we got to make a whole lemonade factory, and we do it. And to those folks who do that and go through the adversity, regardless of, guess what? Men who raise their children, and folks say, oh, well, that ain't the norm. Where the woman at? Guess what? I applaud you, men who raise your children. Women who raise these children and they go, oh, where the father at? I applaud you, women who raise the children. But here's the biggest problem. Don't put your ish and your isms on your kids because things didn't work out between you and the person you were with. That's where we make the mistake. We transfer that crazy way of thinking, or all men are this, all women are that, all this, all that. No, you effed up. That don't mean they gonna be effed up. It just means you effed up. And if you were really right with yourself, what you would do is you would want your kids to be better. But brother in Berlin said it best. Most of you parents have kids, and then once you have kids, it's all cute with the little Jordans and the baby pictures and all this. But y'all really don't want to raise kids. Y'all want to have the fun of making kids, but y'all don't want to raise kids because guess what? That's work.
I gotta say on the public platform, bro. School just started here in the area. Say it again.
Before I just gotta have 30 or 15 seconds to build on Brother Bowtie what he said. Great analogy, and I think I want to give this to you. It might not be just because the men are better fathers or better parents. It's because men, when they get the kids, they ask for help from the women on their side of the family and also the women on the other side of the family. Even if they had a problem with the mother, she was a widow or she was a drug, they still reach out to that side of the family because they remember those connections and they don't separate the children from that. So the whole family unit is helping with the children, versus what I see on the women's side a lot of times is when the breakup happens, they cut off not just the man, but his entire side of the family. And a lot of times they don't have good relationships with the men in their family. So their pride and ego kind of makes them raise the children alone without the help of any family. And maybe that's why also the kids are failing.
Okay, it is 3 minutes. 3 minutes to the top of the hour.
They don't have the men. Yeah.
So let's do this, y'all. I have had some technical difficulties, so I had to switch over to another system. So I won't be able to take us one at a time individually, but we are all 5 here. So let's get ready to get up out of here. And here's who I'm going to start with. I'm going to start with Sean P. and the Sean P. Experience. Sean, let me know what you got going on, bro. And I know you got some bomb books and authors coming up. So talk to me, baby.
Here we go. The most important thing coming up right now, my 13th publication is on pre-sale right now. That's right. Go to the Sean P. Experience. Go to any social media platform, put in my name. You can pre-order the book. It's a whole week on pre-sale. Pre-sale pricing for the whole week. Next Monday goes to full price. It's my 13th release. The Bounce Back Season, self-help, motivational, inspirational, and some good home education.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Brother in Berlin, give me some closing words across the pond, man. It is, what time is it in Germany right now?
Right now it's just 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, 2 in the evening. Talk to me, baby.
Okay, everything's going great. Getting ready for my event, ready for my video game inspection, and then I'll keep you guys updated. But like I said, and everything, Rest in peace, Neely Fuller. He has the solutions. Check out hip hop cartoons, ingest it, watch it with your children, watch it with your enemies, watch it with whoever, but watch it. And his words are so logical, they cannot be denied. Rest in peace, and that's it.
Sister Alethea, the CEO of Pimpin' Positivity, give me some closing words, sis.
My closing words are always the same. You need to go out there and know who you are, because if you know who you are, then nobody can tell you who you are. Continue being great in your own face, then be extraordinary in theirs. And as always, you have a good day on purpose. You're welcome.
Brother Bowtie, hit me, brother.
What it is, what it ain't, and what we gonna do about it. Let's talk about it. Let's do something about it. Hey, it's me, Brother Bowtie. Follow me at Bowtie Untied on everything. On Facebook, you can follow me at Antonio Cope. If you wish to support my business, go to www.brothersbowties.com. My word for the day is very quick. Just be great in their face, as my sister Alethea say.
That part. Family, listen. On the behalf of the brother in Berlin, Brother Sean P with the Sean P Experience, Sister Alethea doing her thing of popping and pimping positivity everywhere. That's a bunch of peas. Brother Bowtie doing this thing. Scholar, I got nothing but love for you. On the behalf of Brother Elijah, who was not here with sports today, Sister Jax, who is on the road to Atlanta, Georgia, getting her daughter into a higher institution of learning called Spelman, D. Spelman, and yours truly, Joe Dupree. Listen, we are hashtag Truth Be Told /JD Live, your early morning get up, wake up, unless you're in Germany where it's the afternoon. Be better today than you were yesterday, and do something today to be a blessing to somebody somewhere, that no matter what you do, there's no earthly way they can pay you back. And always remember that there is no secret what God can do, what he has done for others, he will and he can do for you. For when God is with you, nothing and nobody can stand against you. Y'all have a terrific Tuesday. Tell the truth to somebody. We'll be back tomorrow because we're going to work it out for Wednesday. We up out of here. Love y'all. Peace. That's what I said. We gone.